I didn't know anything beyond the realm of student life. Me as a 20-year-old and me as a 30-year-old, we're gonna have very different ambitions and goals and ideas. And so when I have been recently, like, you know, asked the question, Holly, what are you doing as a career? You know, like, what job do you want? I don't exactly know what that missing piece of the puzzle will look like, but I do know that I've almost neglected me, and I've been trying to run away from the fact that there is something missing and there's something that I need to solve. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to today's video. Firstly, I just want to tighten my little pigtail things. This week I decided I would have a little chat with you guys. At the moment I'm kind of planning to alternate between like vlogging and then chatting with you guys, just sharing insights into my personal life, what I've been thinking about. But this video is something that was on my mind at the end of last year when I felt very lost and I kind of reached this dead end and didn't really know what I was doing with my life, sort of thing. I wanted to talk about this idea that I've been phrasing as this kind of like academic trap that left me clueless, and I feel like clueless is maybe slightly the wrong word to use. I wouldn't say, I mean, I don't want to be too harsh on myself. I wouldn't say I'm clueless, but in terms of like my future and a career and stuff like this, I would say I am kind of clueless. I will leave timestamps down below, but I feel like every section will build on the one before, so you are more than welcome to skip around, but like hopefully from start to finish the whole picture will become clear. I hope you enjoy this video. As usual, definitely give it a like if you do, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new, and yeah, we are gonna dive straight into the video. So first things first, I forgot to put my grass pot in the background, which I often like to have, the IKEA grass pot. And now officially first things first, I just thought I would share my current situation and my academic background because I identified with being a student for like such a long period of my life. You know, I loved my studies. It was, yes, a stressful time of my life, but at the same time, it just felt right for me. Like that whole process of learning, enjoying what I was learning, revising for exams, studying the exam technique, doing the past papers, taking an exam and then getting the result, like that whole process, I kind of thrived in that environment. I did my GCSEs and my A-levels at school. I definitely was like a very all-rounded student. I loved every single subject. Every single teacher wanted me to take this subject for A-level, and I struggled to narrow down my options, but I eventually realized that my favorite was biology, hence why I did natural sciences at Cambridge, and my like love, we could say, for biology was definitely cemented at university. I specialised in cancer, genetic disease and immunology in my final year, did a dissertation, didn't want to do a research project because I always knew deep down that like research and lab stuff was not for me, and then I took a gap year, went travelling, and then came back to academics to do a master's at UCL purely because I loved the subject. I thought cancer biology was so fascinating and I just wanted to take it one step further. A lot of the concepts that I was taught at UCL weren't like entirely new for me because at Cambridge like we just learned so much, but I definitely developed new skills in terms of like giving presentations, oral communication skills, working in a team environment, which I didn't do at Cambridge, critical analysis skills, like diving deeper into particular research papers and stuff. So it was definitely valuable and, you know, I enjoyed it. Like I had a really good time at UCL, even though I did it remotely, but you know what I mean. So that, for anyone who didn't know, is my academic background from like start to finish. I mean, that's a huge chunk of my life, as I said, being a student. And then my current situation, if you were also kind of new around here, I am a full-time content creator right now. That's essentially my job. Alongside, yes, I have Holly Jumia, my online tutoring business. I tutor students, help them with applications, proofreading, stuff like that. And I also do Nana with my sister. So that's my current situation and my background for those of you who weren't so familiar. And as I've kind of alluded to already, but something that I wanted to emphasize again because I feel like it's at the crux of this like academic trap for me that left me clueless. But essentially my academic path was not driven by a career ambition in any way. As I said, I always knew that I didn't want to be a scientific researcher, hence why I didn't want to go on and do a PhD, do a postdoc, become a fellow, a researcher, anything like that. I always knew that from the get-go, and it wasn't driven by any other career ambition. My academic path was totally carved out by my enthusiasm and my love for a particular subject, which was biology. That is why, you know, when I realized at school that I liked the subject, I decided to do natural sciences. And then after my degree, I decided to do a master's on top of that after a gap year, because I loved the subject. Like, I didn't do that master's so that I could gain access to certain career paths or jobs. And the second reason why I took the academic path and I made those decisions was also because I loved being a student. Like, there's no other way to put it. My identity as a student was at my core. Like, I felt it so strongly in me, and yeah, I just loved being a student. I kind of wanted to prolong and extend my time as a student because, you know, adulthood scared me, and I feel like that's what a lot of people do. I didn't know anything beyond the realm of student life. I was, as I said, almost obsessed in a way with my studies and doing well and getting quote-unquote perfect grades. I know there's no such thing, but you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to get the best grades, and you know, like, I came out on top at Cambridge because, like, I was so obsessed with doing well and proving to not really anyone else but myself that I could do that. That first class degree, that distinction, that A star, like, that is what I was working towards. I wanted that so wholeheartedly, and I was just tunnel visioned. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. First of all, like, let me get this straight. I think that my focus and my dedication and my productivity was, like, you know, I look back at my past self and I'm like, wow, I really did get a lot done, you know. I'm proud of myself. I'm happy that I was so focused towards something and I could channel everything into that. However, I do think that came with a major cost, and at the time I was blinded to that. I didn't see that, you know, because I was so, as I said, engrossed and obsessed with, like, my studies and getting good grades and performing my best in these exams, which I saw as, like, everything. Like, I thought everything rested on these grades. I just couldn't see the fact that I was naive to everything else going on in the world. I just had no life experience, let's say. I think that's the best way to put it. Yeah, I mean, some people might be like, wow, that's such a sad life, you know, you put so much into studying, you work so hard, and you know, it's not for everyone. It's definitely not. And I think perfect examples of this are just, you know, like, I think back to my times at Cambridge when I would be working from the time I woke up to the time I'd be going to bed. You know, I was working when I was eating, I was working in the gym. I never showed that in vlogs, but yes, I would work and revise on a treadmill, on a bike. Like, I never stopped working. The only times when I wasn't really studying was if I was taking a trip to dance on my bike, I was dancing, I was cooking, or I was at Aldi shopping. Every other time, I was working non-stop. I didn't burn out. I was almost so robotic because, you know, my body was functioning so much like I describe as a child, which is kind of a whole other video in itself, which I'm planning to film at some point. But like, I didn't burn out. I never reached burnout, even though people warned me that I would burn out because I worked so hard. I just didn't, because I don't even know, like, I genuinely think I may have been a robot. I hope that that kind of starts to explain, you know, the academic trap that left me clueless. And I feel like the second half of this is now me talking about, you know, why I feel clueless, why I feel kind of lost right now. And this has only really come to light recently, even though I probably felt quite lost throughout the whole of my 20s, the first half anyway. But as I said, there was this massive pro and this huge con associated with me like channeling all of my energy into my studies. As I said, this con was that I didn't know anything beyond my studies and beyond student life, and I feel like if I went back and did everything again, I would have spent a bit more time, well, more time, let's say some time, because I spent 0 time doing this, thinking about my future as an adult. Because let's be real, I mean, you can be a student your whole life, but I knew that I didn't really want to be a student for my whole life. Like, what did I want my adult life to look like? What job did I want? What career path did I aspire to go down? You know, I do think back to some career meetings that we had with a career advisor in school, and obviously, you know, because I did well in my studies, you know, people told me I could be a doctor, a banker, I could go down those traditional job routes. You know, I wasn't informed about all of the other career paths that are associated with science degrees, doing biology. I mean, a lot of people think of being a researcher or a science teacher, but there are so many other things you can do, not necessarily directly linked to science, but you know, you can go into lots of things, but I didn't care to think about those. I wasn't informed about those. And at university level, like, yes, it is your responsibility in a way to go and seek these ideas, talk to career advisors, because we did have access to these things at Cambridge. Like, there were meetings that we could go to, talks and stuff, but like, I didn't go to them because I was like, I don't know what I want to do, I don't have time, and my studies mean more to me right now. And in terms of like the careers that I did explore to some degree, you know, I grew up in musical theatre. I danced in Billy Elliot, and I always thought I would do what my mum did, which was be a dancer, a musical theatre performer. I loved that idea, but you know, that soon kind of went down the drain when I wanted to do something more academic, and I didn't want like a career that was unstable, so I considered going into vet medicine. That was like at school, but then at university I started to feel some pressure at the end of my second year when my director of studies was kind of like, you know, what are you thinking about doing beyond this degree? And all of us, like all of my peers in college, were thinking about certain career options. Me, on the other hand, I didn't really think about that, and because, as I said, I wanted to kind of extend my time at Cambridge and extend my time being a student, I was like, okay, why not try doing medicine, because I also like pathology. But that was like a very naive decision to make. And then at the end of my final year, when, you know, I kind of again adopted a sheep-like mentality of thinking about going into a proper career, you know, I applied for teaching jobs at private schools because I didn't have a PGCE. I was offered some positions, but I turned them down because I wanted to take a bit of a break, and I took a gap year. So those are all of the careers I thought about, but as I said, I never gave any of them like deep thought. I never genuinely thought about whether I'd enjoy that, whether I could see myself doing it long term and stuff like this. So instead I went traveling, and arguably I learned so much about myself. You know, as I said, I finished university feeling very, very lost. But when I started to travel, when I started to really enjoy backpacking, I realized that I was learning so much more about myself and the world and how things work. And you know, I realized that not everything was so simple, because being a student, you know, like, you have this one goal, which is taking this exam and getting a grade at the end of it. Like, you don't really have any other worries at the time. But you know, like in me traveling, and as I said, since kind of like graduating from Cambridge, and then after my gap year and my master's, I've been doing content creation full time, and I'm an adult now technically, even though sometimes I don't feel like an adult. I've learned so much about the world, the struggles of being an adult, the stresses of being an adult, the fact that life is never ever simple. And so for that, I am very grateful that I've been able to do this for so long. You know, make videos, share my life with you guys, share my travels with you guys, just follow what I wanted to do, post about it online. And yeah, like, I've learned so much, and arguably I needed that. Like, I really did need some life experience. I needed some time beyond studying to just figure out who I was. But on the flip side, you know, I'm now 26 and I've reached this point now where I feel like something is missing. This is again something I've mentioned in a few of my videos now, my most recent videos. And so when I have been recently, like, you know, asked the question, Holly, what are you doing as a career? You know, like, what job do you want? This is technically my job, like creating content and filming videos, tutoring. I've been able to, you know, be financially free from a pretty young age, and I'm very happy about that, you know. Like, I'm also very proud of the years I've spent online just doing YouTube sort of thing. But like, what I want to do now, this missing piece to the puzzle, I don't know exactly what it is. Like, I don't have the answers right now, and that is what I'm trying to work through in my personal life before I share it online. Because, you know, I'm often so quick to be like, I'm gonna talk about this online, and then nothing ever comes of it because I just talk about it in a video for the sake of talking about it in a video, not actually doing it in my life. So, you know, for the first time, like, I'm trying to actually do things for me first, and then the camera will follow, sort of thing. But whatever this missing piece to the puzzle is, I know that it's something that will alleviate the pressures and the stresses that I've been feeling at the moment. And a lot of those I kind of talked about in my last chatty video about the ups and downs, the good, the bad, and the ugly about social media. You know, like, I have always done something alongside sort of vlogging. Like, studying was like a huge part of my life, and I vlogged that, and you guys loved following my journey. And then when I was traveling, I know not everyone enjoys like traveling and wants to travel, but you know, that again, I was doing something for me, and then you guys were following that journey. You know, right now I'm a bit lost myself. I don't know where I'm going, and I know a lot of you are here because, you know, you enjoy watching me for who I am, and like, that makes me like beyond grateful to know that. But at the same time, like, this is my journey, this is my story, and this is my life that I'm trying to document online. And because I have prioritized the camera for so long now, I've almost neglected me, and I've been trying to run away from the fact that there is something missing and there's something that I need to solve. I know this is all kind of ambiguous right now, and as I said, that's because I'm trying to work through it myself, and I don't exactly know what that missing piece of the puzzle will look like. But I do know that I think, putting it into black and white, plain and simple words, it is a different job, a career path of some sort. Like, I feel like right now I'm craving something like that. I think one of the best things about your 20s is, you know, although you can spend a lot of it feeling lost, you are allowed to explore and experiment and try new things. And, you know, I might not land on something straight away, I might eventually change my mind, but right now I'm looking for something external sort of thing, if that makes sense. Something where, you know, I can go back to meeting deadlines again, doing things for other people, and, you know, working not just on my terms, because I feel like in part of me I miss that. So yeah, I feel like that, as I said, kind of maybe answers some of your questions right now. I am excited for the future. I am really excited to share like the second half of my 20s with you guys. I do want to keep vlogging and sharing my life, but like, I need to do this for myself right now and find something. And yeah, like, I really do appreciate your patience, your love for this channel and support and everything. If you're new around here, you know, that may have gone way too deep and you may not have been expecting that, but yeah, let me know, as I said, if you can relate to any of this or any of what I've talked about today. Subscribe, as I said, if you're new, and hit the bell so you know when I upload. Like this video, give it a big thumbs up if you do like these videos, because it really does help me out. I know what you guys want from me. I'm changing my upload day to Monday, by the way, so I'll see you next Monday for a vlog, a full week in the life is what I'm planning. And yeah, as always, I will leave you the bloopers and speak to you very soon in another video. Bye guys! I am cleaning my lens because it keeps steaming up. This is a microfiber towel, by the way, for cleaning. Day 2 of the curls, not looking too shabby. I have this weird obsession with like trying to pluck the hair before it's ready. I don't know if anyone else does that or if it's just me. I have so much hair, Like, why is my hair all coming out today? And as I've like alluded to already, hello, Etsy. Valentine's Day gifts.